minutes of
There's no toilet paper? Oh man, I ran out of fig leaves too.
There's a speech practice coaching place like near my house.
Where is that? I think she's going to talk about the living room. 50 cents. Okay.
So, I mean,
He's holding you captive against your will.
Oh, it seems like it's being able to watch the Warriors.
So I'm happy.
It doesn't matter because
Every week it's take care of my grandmother too. So grandfather died, and people that have been here for a while were like, I thought I could go for like so much whatever, like overall, like, and then see there was something like this.
Hey guys, I want to talk about a little bit about listening talks. So I think it's amazing, like people, the talks that I heard today. I think it's awesome that you could take, I think it was like almost like a 1 hour, no, maybe not quite 1 hour talk about IVF and.
Was it really an hour?
No,
Actually, how long was it?
30 minutes.
Yeah, it's like a 30-minute episode.
We're just so focused, we didn't.
The experience of it felt like 1 hour.
Okay.
You know?
Well, sorry.
How many of you guys read the description of the event? I guess started with, my dad used to host these Daddy's Hour, right?
Yeah.
And that actually used to be like one of my favorite pastimes, actually, because like every week it was just this unstructured learning. I was able to just ask something, anything really. And for whatever reason, my dad always had a pretty good answer, at least to my, 6-year-old brain. Anyways, I just thought it would be amazing if like we could bring this back as adults and just give off the cuff presentations. So even today, I actually consciously told myself like not to prepare anything, and just to kind of like let other people kind of take over and see what happens. So actually, I thought the interactive format was actually really awesome. Just having people actually interact, because the energy in the room was a lot different. And also, for me, this has been almost like an experiment, right? Like kind of experimenting with like sitting in a circle versus like classroom style, right? I think classroom style, you guys probably agree, it just feels a little bit different. Yeah, I think it's not as much on the connection front, right? Yeah, because the thing for me is like, I don't necessarily want this to be another TED Talks, right? And the easy way to scale this would be to have like a room of 100 people, right? But here's the thing, right? If there's a room of 100 people, would Shelly talk about her experience that she shared, right? Versus just in someone's living room, right? With people that she's comfortable with. So I think that feeling is very different. So the way I see it is like, maybe something like a TED Talk could show you the top of the mountain. It could show you, it's inspiring. It's, maybe they're world-changing ideas, but I think living room talks can provide a platform where just, normal people can just talk about the things that they're interested in, the things that they're going through. And it's that relatability that I think gives a lot of power, right? Like I may not, like if I was on YouTube and I was looking at TED Talks and I saw a TED Talk on IVF, I'd probably just skip it. Like I don't think I would actually click on it, right? But because I know Michelle and this is an experience that she's gone through, right? It's actually really interesting to me because it's like, wow, I actually know someone who has gone through this, and and I start to see myself in that scenario. Right, so I think the relatability of it is what gives it its power, right? So if TED Talks is sort of like shows you the top of the mountain, I think this can show you where the next step is, right? Also, I've had a lot, yeah.
I just want to jump in and say that also I came in not knowing what's coming up, right? I don't even know, someone's actually talking about IVF. I think that's the best part about it, is that, like, just like you said, I would just skip it because it's like, it's not relatable to me. But now, because I came here today and then I'm learning something I didn't expect to learn. And that just like opens up your mind, and then I have gained knowledge that I probably would not gain in 10 years.
I absolutely agree. I mean, because the thing is like, what Michelle's going through is, it's part of her inner world, right? It's something that she's going through. I would never probably know anything about that if I, even like actively thinking about it, I wouldn't think I'd be interested in that. But honestly, I think I just thought it would, there's like a needle that goes in and collects an egg, and just one egg, and they just put it together, you know, like, and it just out comes a baby. I honestly wasn't sure what the process was
That would have
like.
been a great question to ask at the beginning. Like, what do people think the IVF is?
I thought you put it in a blender bottle, shake it up. That's a baby or something. Bake it for 40 minutes. Like a Costco pizza. I really didn't know. So like I said, part of it is a big experiment for me. I've had many experiences in my life where there's just a catalyst, right? Where, for example, in the last couple of years, I've been like absolutely obsessed about investing, right? And in the past, I think I never saw myself as an investor, for example, because of an identity issue. So like, you know, I think people, including myself, get wrapped up into the identities that they are, right? For example, maybe my identity is software entrepreneur, right? Maybe I might not have seen myself as an investor, but there are certain books or certain people that I meet that create that cast, which is like, okay, well, this topic is actually really interesting. And then I get into a deep dive, and then it becomes this like rabbit hole of information that I get into, right? And so learning about investing has changed my life in a significant way. Learning about bodybuilding has been changed my life in a very significant way. And you know, bodybuilding is something that most people in the Bay Area don't really do or have heard about, right? And they don't know people have done it. And it's sort of a weird path to go down, but something like bodybuilding, having gone through like a competition and everything, you know, there's so many meta skills and knowledge that I've learned from that I've applied to other areas of my life, right? And in any case, every time that I discover some new topic, it starts this compounding effect of having known that topic, right? And so my experience of like having learned investing, like let's say starting 3 years ago, I wish I had learned it when I was 21. Like I wish I had learned it when I was 26, right? But at 26, I didn't think about it in the same way that I thought about it now. Like even today, right? Like I actually thought about presenting about the history of corporation. Like, that's actually a topic that I actually meant to be prepared for, which is because, like, for example, in this modern, there's a very popular. It's popular nowadays to sort of hate on big corp, right? But actually, the idea of a corporation is actually fairly new. For example, the first corporation started in the 1600s. It was called the British East India Company, and they actually formed to explore the seas. They basically raised a bunch of money to explore and look for treasures in other lands, right? And this started this whole trend of being able to raise money from a lot of people. And eventually, I think 1602, the Dutch East India Company was the first company to be listed on the public stock market. And then even concepts like limited liability did not really come about until, let's say, 1855. So there was this idea, like, just imagine, let's say you invested in Apple, $10,000 into Apple, and the next day, you know, every iPhone blows up and kills everyone on Earth, right? And suddenly you're on the line for $100,000 in debt or liabilities, right? Well, this was actually a real thing back then. I mean, you could actually invest $1,000 and lose $10,000, right? But because of limited liability and concepts like this, people were like, you know, because your liability is limited, people were able to work together in large group without having to worry about these issues, right? So even when you study the history of corporation, for example, you realize that it's actually a legal technology. It's a legal technology that has been used to unlock human potential. So I never would have thought about corporation as a vehicle to unlock human potential. But I think it's actually really cool that something like SpaceX or Tesla can raise money from millions of people, try these really risky things, and change the world in a big way, right? And it came together with concepts like limited liability, with concepts like corporate personhood, where you can sue a corporation or a corporation can have a credit score. These are all essentially stories that we all buy into, which allow humans to work together in large scale, right? Anyways, that's like a preview of like a presentation I was thinking of giving today. But I'll probably have the full fleshed out version sort of next time. But yeah, I really just wanted to paint a picture of what I think living room talks could be. I want it to be a way that people can connect and learn from each other in a different way and hang out in a different way than just, let's say, going out or drinking or whatever it may be, right? Because I think everyone in this room is awesome and has an interesting story, right? But we may not always know what that thing is unless we're interacting in that way. So But what I would love to do is for this project to not be about Jason's living room talk. I really would like this to be other people hosting their own living room talks. That's what I see as the possibility of this project. For example, you know, Eileen, you're from Nha Trang, right? You know, it would be awesome if I could go to Nha Trang and have a living room talks in Vietnam, right? I think that would be amazing. Or I have some friends who, you know, I met in Las Vegas, right? It would be great if I could go to Las Vegas and have a living room talk there, or Atlanta, right? And people are in their living room and they're talking about the things local to them, right? So that's kind of what I see as the vision for this particular project. Is I would love to have other people host their own. As you can see, I've already pretty much maxed out this space. I have to buy more chairs or you know, or beanbags or something to to fit more people. Yeah, so if you guys are interested in hosting your own living room talks, come talk to me afterwards. I would love to talk to you about it. So, or if you have space that's a little bit bigger than this, come talk to me as well. I've been experimenting with like the number of people that come to these events. I think last time we had something like 12 or 13. This time I think we had 16 or something like that. I don't think my living room can fit that much more. So, which is why, you know, in terms of the scale issue, I think it should scale horizontally. It's easy for me to rent out a big venue and just invite everyone I know on Facebook, right? But I think that's not the kind of experience that I want. So, yeah, so that's my vision, and you know, if you guys are interested in working with me or hosting your own living room talk at your place, that would be amazing. So, yeah, thank you for coming. How many people have to leave and how many people are able to stay more? Because right now is 6 p.m. Okay.
I have to leave in like an hour probably.
Okay.
Something like
Because I would love for Emil to present. So I don't know how many people know Emil here, but he's actually an ultra marathoner. Have you guys heard of this term or know what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, so what it means is that for him, like, he warms up with a marathon. That's what it basically means, right? I don't know if that's what you're going to present on, but you know.
How's the term? What's the term again?
Ultra marathon.
Ultra marathon. So
Ultramarathon.
like a typical marathon is like 26.2 miles or 42 kilometers. And so an ultra marathon is anything over that. And typically for races, it's like 50 kilometers is like the shortest ultra marathon. And then it gets way crazier after that. It's like 50 miles, there's 100 kilometers, 100 miles. Now there's like 200-mile races because the 100-mile races are selling out so fast that it's like impossible to get in. And anyway, so it's...
Are these multi-day?
Oh yeah, for sure.
100 miles, yeah.
Yeah. Good. Unless you're winning it and then you do it under 24 hours. But yeah, for us mere mortals, it's like multiple days.
All right, let's take a 5-minute break.
Yeah.